Should you bid on every cleaning contract? How do you decide whether a commercial cleaning opportunity is actually worth bidding? Now, cleaning business owners, just because you can bid on a contract doesn't mean you should bid on it. One of the things that you have to learn as a company grows is how to look at an opportunity and say, this one isn't for me. Because we're not trying to win every contract. We're trying to win the right contracts. Hey y'all, it's Karen Denton, owner of KSC Commercial Cleaning Services and your KSC bidding consultant and the owner of the KSC building. And today we're talking about something that can save you a whole lot of time, money, and headaches. How do you decide if a cleaning contract is even worth bidding on? So don't let the dollar amount excite you, because the first thing I want you to understand is that a big contract isn't automatically a good contract. You might see an opportunity worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and immediately get excited. But before you start counting that money, ask yourself, what is it going to cost me to perform that contract? You could have major expenses for labor, supervision, equipment, supplies, insurance, transportation, and administration. I'm not interested in how much money is coming in until I understand how much money has to go out. Is this within my company's capabilities? And then the next thing I want to ask is, can my company actually perform this work? Look at what they're asking for. Is this regular janitorial? Is it specialty floor care? Post-construction cleaning? Medical cleaning? Industrial cleaning? A large facility cleaning? 24-hour coverage. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying my company isn't ready for this one yet. Sometimes the best business decision is to pass, prepare your company, and go after the next one. And then can I staff it? So let's say you found a beautiful contract, but the RFP requires 15 employees and you currently have 3. That doesn't automatically mean you can't bid, but you need a real staffing plan. Where will you find those employees? How quickly can you hire them? Who will train them? Who supervises them? What happens if people don't show up? So don't win the contract first and then start wondering where you're going to find the people. Winning a contract and being financially prepared to start a contract are 2 different things. You may need to pay for payroll, uniforms, background checks, equipment, chemicals, supplies, insurance, transportation, and training. And you might have to pay those expenses even before your customer gives you the first payment. So ask yourself, do I have enough working capital to carry this contract until I get paid? Now, that's a question newer business owners sometimes forget. Can you afford to start the contract? Then you need to look at the payment terms. Don't just ask how much the contract pays, ask when you're getting paid. And if the customer has extended payment terms, your company may need to carry payroll and operating expenses while you're waiting for payment, like I have to do. That's especially important on labor-heavy contracts. Your employees aren't going to wait for your customers to pay you. Payroll is still coming. Then you got to look at the location. Where is the building? Don't underestimate travel. If the account is far away, think about employees getting their transportation, supervisor, transportation, delivering supplies, emergency coverages, equipment, transportation, and the ability to replace somebody who calls off. So sometimes an account looks profitable until you start calculating everything it takes just to get there and manage it. Then you need to look at the cleaning schedule. Maybe the price looks great, but what are your required hours? Is it overnight, weekends, holidays, 7 days a week, multiple shifts, day porter plus evening crew? You need to know whether you can realistically staff the schedule they're requiring. And pay attention to the risk. Some contracts carry more operational risk than others. Maybe there's a heavy floor care requirement, expensive equipment, strict response times, special security requirements, large crowds, very short turnaround times, or penalties for performance failures. So don't just look at what happens if everything goes right. Ask yourself what happens when something goes wrong, because that's part of bidding too. And then look at the length of the contract. How long are you committing your company to this price? This is especially important when labor costs could increase. So if you're committing to a multi-year agreement, look carefully at whether the solicitation or contract addresses price adjustments, renewals, wage changes, or other increases. Because a price that works today may not work 2-3 years from now. So ask yourself, is there enough profit for the risk? So this is where everything comes together. You calculated your labor, you calculated your supplies, you calculated your equipment, you considered your overhead, you considered the management requirement. Now ask yourself, after I do all of that, is this contract still worth it? Because revenue and profit are not the same thing. I'd rather have a smaller, profitable account than a huge account that's draining my company every month. So don't bid just because you're afraid to miss an opportunity. Now this here is a mindset lesson. When you're starting out, every opportunity can feel like the opportunity. But there will be other bids. You don't have to chase everything. We're building a business. We're not collecting contracts. So every contract you win should make sense for the direction you're taking your company. So here's my would I bid test. Can I perform the scope? Can I staff it? Can I afford the startup costs? Can I handle the payment terms? Does the schedule work operationally? Do I understand the risk? Does my price cover all my costs? And is there profit left to make the contract worth it? Then, if I'm uncomfortable with several of those answers, I'm going to think very carefully before putting my company's name on that bid. So here's some homework for you. Pull up one opportunity that you're thinking about bidding. But before you calculate one price, write down 2 columns. Reasons to bid, reasons not to bid. Then answer my 8 questions. Don't ask yourself, can I win this? Ask yourself, if I win this tomorrow, am I actually prepared to perform it profitably? So cleaning business owners, you don't have to bid on everything. And you definitely don't have to win everything. Sometimes the smartest bid you'll ever make is the one you decide not to submit. Because we're not chasing revenue, we're building profitable cleaning companies. Now tell me in the comments, have you ever won a contract and later wished you hadn't bidded on it? Put yes in the comment if you've been there. And if you have an opportunity, you're trying to decide whether to bid, leave me a bidding question. Remember, consistency always wins. So let's grow together. See y'all in the next video.